Hi, welcome to All Things Possible. I'm Kris Barney and I'm thrilled to have you here with me. I love to be able to share opportunities and different ideas and principles and tools and techniques that you can use in your life. I love that our company is All Things Possible and that we're able to share with you. This week I'm going to be talking about positive routines and how to create success through the positive routines in your life. Before I go into a lot of detail, I want to invite you to join our community right here on the screen at allthingspossible.biz. That's allthingspossible.biz. And I'd love for you to join me there. We have free gifts there. We have all kinds of content and different things for you to be able to access from our website and to be part of the community of All Things Possible. So let's dig in deep today and talk about routines, the routines in your life. We have positive routines and negative routines, and we are creating routines all the time in our life. And I want for you to take a good look at your routines and the things that you're doing in your life. You could call them habits, you could call systems, different things that you're doing. They are all routines. And we have the ability to set these routines into place and to be more successful, more productive, and have a better reality of attaining what we want in our life when we have these in place. And right now in our world, we're just starting into a brand new year. We have our new declarations, or some of you may have done resolutions. If you did not watch last week, I talked about declarations and how declaring them will help you be more successful with that. So go back and watch last week if you haven't seen that, because I would love for you to have declarations and then positive routines to reinforce those declarations and your goals for this next year. But as the new year comes in, we have the opportunity to really evaluate our life and decide, do we want it to be different? Do we want to have more success in this area? Or maybe we want to do something over in this area. Now, a lot of times we get stuck in that same thing of like, I want to exercise, or I want to lose weight, or I want to make more money. And rather than actually setting things into place to start to do those and to accomplish those and to create the success that we want. When I grew up, the best teacher I ever had of setting routines was my mother. Growing up, we had, and this dates me, but we had a hot breakfast. We sat down and had breakfast together as a family, and we had routines. We knew what had to happen before we went to school, and it was XYZ. That morning routine was set in place, and before we left for the school bus, we had the dishes were done, breakfast was over, lunches were made if we were taking home lunch, beds were made, laundry was started, and all these different things had happened before we left the house at 8 o'clock, 7:30. And we had all of those things in place. And I learned very young how important routines were. Now, routines can be in several different aspects of your life. For a lot of us, we talk about a morning routine or a morning ritual. I call it your boot up and your shut down at night. So just like a computer, we're going to boot that computer up. And the boot up that I start with in the morning, yes, involves the same things as a morning ritual or a morning, routine, right? And it's that, that positive reading, meditation, exercise, hydration. I start drinking my bottles of water. I start getting all those things on board. Starts my day out completely different, and I'm successful right from the get-go. So it starts everything better, right? I start with my declarations. I start with the positive, and I really infuse my day. It makes a huge difference. Same thing as when I shut my day down. I have a whole routine that I go through on the shutdown of, reading those declarations and having that positive feedback in. There's prayer. There's all kinds of things that I do to make my days begin and end in a positive way, but it's with a routine. Now, there are so many other times that you can have a routine. I want you to think about your day. When you start your day, you can start it however you start your day. But for me, if I'm on an off day, let's say I have been sick or I'm not doing a routine, and I get up and I kind of check my email, kind of check Facebook, or get into social media platforms, right? And we get so distracted that before we've even started our day or been able to do our day like we want to do our day, there's all these distractions, all these things going on. And when we do it differently and we do it intentional, we set that intention of how our day is going to be, what we're going to accomplish, and how that outcome is going to look, we have more success. What are the routines that you have in your life? What are those routines that you're doing anyway? Because it's been proven that either you will create the routine and then stick to it, have it become a habit and a system that you use regularly, or the bad habit will set a routine and you will get stuck in the bad habit. Now, I've shared before that I went through a time of some foot surgeries and some healing time, and I got in the habit of watching Netflix. I actually watched a few seasons of some pretty big shows that had lots of seasons and episodes to watch, right? And I got to where I really enjoyed that. I had not been a TV person. In fact, I couldn't sit down to watch TV without another project. I was writing out bills or writing thank you cards or doing something else while the TV was going. And multitasking was, my thing. And I didn't want to waste time watching TV, so I just hardly ever watched. And when I got into this bad habit, right, the bad habit, it became a routine. I would automatically wake up. I couldn't exercise because I had, this big, huge cast on my foot, and I couldn't do things that were on my regular routine, and so I created a new one. Bad habits will set those routines. You can have a bad habit of coming home, dropping the keys, dropping the person, thinking, I just need 30 minutes to get back in the groove before family time, or I just need some downtime, right? Yet if we have our life scheduled and intentionally put the things in place that we want in place, we can create a completely different outcome and completely more success by having it be a routine that we stick to. So to have a routine, the only way it will happen is if it's scheduled and if it becomes a habit. You've got to get to where it's ingrained to where you do it automatically. When that happens, it's a routine that you're set for, and it's the routine of how you're going to do things. Now, this can happen at work, it can happen at home. I want you to think about when I had small kids. So when it was bedtime routine, I totally did the whole, we change our pajamas, we get into our pajamas, we put our other clothes away, we pick up so that the room's clean, right? So we have some pickup time, we brush our teeth, we'd get a drink of water, we go potty, we do all these things. Now, mostly it was so that I kept my sanity as a mother, so that they didn't have 10 reasons to get out of bed again, right? But I built these routines to where they knew exactly what had to happen. So not only does it build independence in children, it will build independence in employees. It will build independence in your leadership teams when they have a routine that they can stick with. When they know what is expected, they know what they need to have done, they know what the protocol is, they know what needs to happen. That is a routine. When you put it into a system that's like we do this and then this and then this, that happens. As an entrepreneur, I've been self-employed my whole life and my whole adult life, and have had the opportunity to have a lot of different things. As an entrepreneur, we can get distracted really easy, and there's lots of other things going on. But I've also had a home office and my home, and I have to be able to not let there be distractions when things have to happen. So putting routines into place as to what does the marketing look like? What does, what happens? I know that on Monday mornings, that first 2 hours of my day, I get the blog out, I get the email off to my assistants so that they have the plan for the whole week. They know the theme, they know everything that's happening. That's a routine for me. I know that if I schedule something on a Monday morning, that has to be done ahead of time. Like it's that ingrained. You need to have it that ingrained that you know that, hey, this day I do this thing. When it's calls, when it's my blocked out time to make phone calls, I know that it's there. It's scheduled and it's in a routine of how I do it. I know I've got a list of my next names. I've already pulled that. That's already scheduled and done the week before. Things happen. When those routines are in place, we are more successful. when we can set intentional routines and follow through with them, then we create the success we want. Think about it. The most successful people out there do all kinds of routines. They have exercise routines. They have workouts that they do on certain days. They have menus. They have certain eating plans. They have their vacation time is scheduled into how that's going to happen and fit into their world. The busy big names out there, all of them will tell you it goes down to routines. Because when we are scheduled and follow that routine, we get more done. Our time management comes into alignment, our self-confidence raises, and we actually accomplish those goals quicker because it's all built into having a positive routine that creates for it to happen. One of the biggest things that you'll find when you start having routines is that you'll have alignment with your time management and with your confidence, which makes you more successful. It helps you have the achievement levels, so you're staying in that achievement mentality and accomplishment mentality to where you're staying positive and you're seeing what you're producing and you're seeing that you are accomplishing it and you're staying in that positive mindset, which makes a big difference, especially in our business life as well as our personal life. When you find that sweet spot, when you find that place where it's like, I have a lot of routines going on, I'm finding this system that's working and I'm more successful with this, then you feel good about yourself and you are seeing the positive results. I want you to think about it. When we are in this routine and it's going along and things are working, we're happier. When you're happier, you do more. When you do more, you accomplish more, right? So it just builds on each other. And we're going to have routines anyway. Why not have it be an intentional, positive routine that we put in place? Why not have it be a teamwork thing that we work through with the team and find the best possible way to build that routine around the project that we're working on, or what needs to happen with the new product we're coming out with, or whatever that is at work. You know, that could be in all different industries, all different things, but there has to be a routine or a system that you put in place to create that positive success for everyone involved in the company. I love that you're here with me. I love that you have watched all the way through this. It's just a quick 10, 12-minute video for you, but I want you to know that when you want something to be easier to add, when you want to add a routine in, you want to add something else into your routine, add it to something you already do. That is the number one way to make it become a habit faster, is to add it to something you're already doing. When I added my ideal life vision and my positive recording that I wanted to listen to, when I added it into when I put my makeup on, I have my earbuds in and I listen to this, it made it that much easier to add it to my already built-in routine. So when you want to add something new, add it to that. The only way that it will happen is if you schedule it and you create it to be a habit. So as this new year kicks off, as our seasons change, we have change with every season. Take the opportunity to be mindful about those routines that you have, the ones you have in place, the good ones and the bad ones, and let's put those positive routines into effect for you both personally and at business, whether that's an employee or if you're an entrepreneur. Put those positive routines in place to have better success. Thank you again for being here. Again, if you haven't joined our community, join right here, allthingspossible.biz. Go get your free gifts and be with us. We put out new content every month, and we love to be here to serve you, and we love to have you with us in our community. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time right here on All Things Possible. Bye-bye.